everyone. Tonight I have a stack of journals to share with you all. The setting this time is a little different than what I typically do for my journals. Typically I am in front of my bookshelf, my childhood bookshelf. But tonight I wanted to share with you my dream journals. So I thought that this blue, starry, dreamy setting was much more appropriate for this collection. So, if you're all set, and I'm all set, let's get started. I'll try and do these in the order that, as far as I can remember, I filled them out, and these date back to I think when I was in junior high, so probably 7th grade, something like that. And speaking of junior high, and actually grade school in this case, I'm pretty sure I got this in grade school. This is the first journal. I'm actually fairly certain that I got this at a scholastic book fair in grade school. Talk about a blast from the past, right? But I think I actually waited several years before I finally started using it, and I used it as a dream journal, again, in junior high. And if you see, there are these Chinese symbols on the front. There's this description here. Which I can read to you. But basically these characters make out imagination. That's what they mean. So here's what this says. Imagination. Desire, image, and strength combine to make up your imagination. In much the same way most Chinese characters are complete words that when joined create new words and meanings. The Chinese characters shown on the cover and pages of this journal make up the word imagination. The word has 3 distinct parts. The top character means desire. The middle symbol represents image, and the last character stands for strength. The 3 characters combined make up the word imagination, or the ability to see what you want and the strength to make it happen. Use your imagination to fill this journal with all your hopes and dreams. Use your strength to make them come true. I don't know if I actually really read this, or at least didn't pay attention and really take it in until now, but I really like that sentiment a lot. So what we have here is desire, image, and strength. Very nice. Not really getting a spine crack from this, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. But if I just pick a random page inside, you'll see basically got the symbols all throughout here as well. It says imagination right down here. And this journal isn't completely full. Looks like I went went about halfway through it, filling it up with my dreams. I have some wild dreams. I do want to read some of the entries from my journals to you all. I don't know about this one, but I did some skimming on some of the other journals, and there are definitely some funny passages that I can share with you all when we get to those. But this one is still fun, just to show you the cover and symbols and meaning. And of course, the binding here. Very nice. I also don't have dates on any of these. Some of my other journals, I started keeping dates on when I had the specific dreams. So on to the second journal. This one's good. This one is completely filled up. It's also just really cool. Very appropriate for a dream journal. With all the stars. It's got this nice, like, textured surface. Very much matches the setting tonight. I got this either at a Barnes & Noble or Borders, when Borders still existed. Like I said, I filled this one completely up with my dreams, and this was also the point where I started to get incredibly specific and detailed, like to a ridiculous, unnecessary level with how much I wrote about my dreams. This was September, or one of these was September 10th, 2012. So I may have started writing about my dreams in junior high, stopped in high school, then started back up in college in 2012. Not really a good spine crack from this one either. I guess just because these are journals that I've used so much, I already got all the cracks out of them. Oh well. Let's see if I can find a blank page to show you. But I like the pages in here. They're like very rustic. Even though I'm sure it was made in a factory or something, feels like it has that nice handmade feel to it. You've got like these little sort of golden, I don't know if you can see them, but golden sparkly flecks throughout the pages. There are a couple of them right around here. But as you can see, I've got these pages like completely filled. Some of them are nuts. I also, this is when I started, was it in college? I don't know. I think it was in college when I started writing like almost always in cursive. So full page was just like sometimes very small cursive writing. It's just like a ton of stuff. Like sometimes if I didn't have one of my journals with me, I would write just on other paper and I would cut it out and paste it in here. But let me see if I can find something good to read to you. I think I marked one of the pages in here. I just have to find it. So give me one moment. Here's a little excerpt. It's not like one of the weirder or even like funnier ones, but just, I don't know, again, it shows like how much detail I was including here, and also just how vivid so many of my dreams are. Like, just bizarrely vivid and realistic and detailed. Like, yeah, we'll see. I'll read it to you. Let's see. Then I went over to this odd fountain. There was also a statue of a demon or some other creature that slightly resembled a human. It was up against the building wall, and I just sort of stared at it. It was a bit creepy. It had these odd pointy elbows that almost looked like they had wings on them. And the statue had its arms positioned so weird. The elbows were up against each other, and the forearms were bent upward as if the statue was doing some sort of weird praying. Facing the statue, I positioned my arms the same way. Suddenly, the statue started to very subtly glow, and the wings disappeared from the statue's elbows and appeared on my elbows. And they really were wings, sort of. At least I couldn't necessarily fly with them, but I could float. I ran up one of the grassy hills, and when I reached the top, I leaped into the air, and I floated. I was something, I can't read my own writing. I was something up in the air and slowly soared back down to the ground. So yeah, one of the excerpts. Occasionally I do have dreams where I'm able to fly or something like that, and those are very good dreams. I tend to have a lot of recurring dreams. One type of recurring dream I had a lot for a while, I think throughout college and a little after college. I don't think I've had one recently, but I had a lot of recurring dreams where like some sort of crazy stuff was going on, but in the midst of it all, it was established that I was like really good friends with Miley Cyrus. And I am not a fan of Miley Cyrus. I'm like very indifferent to Miley Cyrus. I just don't care about her at all. Don't listen. I think I maybe have like one of her songs. I don't really know anything about her. But she kept popping into my dream as like my best friend. So strange things like that. There's another one a couple pages with just like absolute crap ton of words on them. Yeah, very, very detailed. But yeah, this is a cool journal. But I think we'll move on to the next ones. So here is the third journal. This is one, I think I just found this. It was like on sale at Target. And since it was really cheap, I got it because, I'm a Disney fan. And it has just a bunch of classic, very old school Mickey Mouse art in it. Look at that. It says Disney Classic Comedies, Plain Crazy, 1928, which Plain Crazy is, of course, one of the Mickey Mouse shorts from back in the day. I'll show you the different like sections and the Mickey art that's on it. That one. I'm reading the little How to Fly book. Then we have this. Honestly, I guess he just did his hair or something. He actually looks a little drugged up, if I'm being honest, but maybe he's just that happy. Then there is Minnie Mouse. I don't know what she's using as a parachute. It almost looks like a pair of like her little bloomers or pantaloons that she likes to wear, but I don't know. And then here we have this one of Minnie and Mickey, and they're playing. And now I will find you some good excerpts that I have looked up, or at least one. I know there's at least one in here. Oh, I just found two. Okay, here we go. This one, I don't think you need any context of what has happened before I read you this excerpt, but just sort of like a bunch of dreamy randomness, you know? Okay, so after taking the photos, I was at this upper-class ballroom / bar place. There was this bartender who looked just like Brendan Fraser. He was really nice, and we ended up falling for each other and making out. And that's the end of that dream. This is a dream that was like 3 pages long. But yeah, I don't think any of what I read had anything to do with the first like 3/4 of the dream. Speaking of like making out or whatever in my dreams, another recurring scenario that happened. This was when Game of Thrones was new episodes were still coming out, and of course hadn't, fallen from grace, I guess, and totally gone downhill. But I would have these recurring dreams, and again, I don't know why it was this character. I have no idea. But I kept having sort of spicy dreams involving Roose Bolton, of all people. Like, nothing too crazy, but like where Roose Bolton like would have the hots for me in my dreams. Again, I don't know why. I remember when I was reading A Song of Ice and Fire, the books, I was always like really fascinated with the Bolton family just because I liked sick and twisted stuff. But I wasn't particularly like fond of Roose Bolton or really cared about him or thought of him as like a significant character in any way. But for some reason, and it was specifically the guy who plays him in the Game of Thrones TV show, that's what he looked like in my dreams. For some reason, he kept popping up, and he had the hots for me a lot of times. I don't know what that says about me, or says about my dreams, or whatever, but just another fun tidbit. Okay, alright, so another fun little thingy to read. This dream I'm gonna read from, I don't know what iteration of Robin Hood, but something involving Robin Hood. And me being a part of like Robin Hood's band of merry men, or whatever, alright? So here we go. I was running around and I was with some girl. I don't know if we were friends or not. We were hiding out in a car. The girl and I had been talking and gossiping while we were in the car, and we said something about how it wasn't fair how perfect Maid Marian's life was. I really liked this girl, but I couldn't let her slow me down. I bolted out of the car and started running again. Then I was spotted by someone of authority, and I knew I had no choice. I was caught, and I had to go with them. and that's the end of that. I left some blank pages. I think I was going to finish writing about that dream, but I never did. But I just found it really funny that I was like gossiping about Maid Marian and like shitting on her in my dream with some other chick. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cute. Okay. Oh, so I have a third one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This dream is like 6 pages long though, but I'm just going to read to you from the last of it. In this one, some witch has like flown up to the window that I'm standing at and is talking to me. So that's the context that you get. She came up and hovered at the window, her massive, billowing, deep green cape swarming around her. She was completely different. She said something about her being ugly, and I said, I don't think you're ugly. Her face actually was quite startling to look upon. It was a grayish green and looked incredibly dry and rough, like hardened oatmeal, or perhaps even the surface of a rock. It wasn't exactly pleasant, but I didn't care. As if skeptical of what I said, the witch then said, "Give me a kiss," and I leaned in and gave her a kiss on the cheek. It felt just like the way it looked. Which was kind of funny. I don't know, I felt like that was a really sweet little bit of the dream. And then I just ended with, yeah, her face felt exactly how it looked, which was not great, but I really liked that one. All right, we have 2 journals left. This one, I think this is another like Target buy, something that was on sale. Pretty basic on the front. Same on the back. Let's see if it cracks. Nope. This one isn't even that used. Blank pages inside, and there are a lot of blank pages. This must have been right around when I started getting too busy to continue to write my very detailed dream summaries. It looks like it only goes to about here. So I definitely want to start recording my dreams some more. It's got to find time, and I gotta learn to be way more concise in my writing. I'm not sure exactly what these words are, or if they even are words, but some sort of, it looks like cursive writing inside. Let's see, I don't think I have anything marked in here. I do have a date, July 27th, 2013. So I was still in college at the time. And very detailed in there. Damn, these are completely front pages, yeah. I know I have a problem with being very long-winded. I like to think I've gotten a little better about it, though. And now, the last dream journal. I think I actually found this one in an airport bookstore or something. And I thought it was very pretty. If I'm thinking airport bookstore, or this is another Target buy. God, Target has gone downhill. Used to find such great stuff from there, but not anymore. But very pretty. I've always really loved like water, ocean stuff. And this one mixes that with dreams and whatnot. How perfect. Says, dream until your dreams come true. It's got a cute little seahorse. It says on the back, I guess, well, it says Mead up here. So Mead is the brand, but maybe this is like design collection or something like that. They did at one point, it says. On the back, modern Bohemian. Oh. Oh man, no cracks. That is unfortunate. Oh, that was a little one. If we look in here, it's mostly is gray, but there's this like little fantastical human butterfly thing. Same on the front, and then side. Just have this like border. The flower. This is another one that is not very filled out. I think I was using this one at the same time as I was using that last one. This one only goes to about here. So, yeah, I definitely need to pick up writing about dreams some more. This one we have in here 2014, July 2014. So I would have just graduated college. Yep, that makes sense why I stopped writing about it, my dreams when I was on this one. Right when I started having to have a real life, you know. But that being said, also we've got our full pages again. I have one tidbit marked in here that made me laugh out loud when I read it. So let's go. I think the only context you need for this one is that there's some sort of like war going on, and I have been in contact with, and I guess am like friends with Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes from Captain America, and I think that's all you need to know. Alright, so here we go. The battle came to an end, and I suppose we won. People were clearing out and soldiers were leaving. But I stood by one of the aisles because Steve and Bucky were walking down it, along with some bodyguards. They didn't even look my way or at anyone else for that matter. They were talking to each other and the guards. I followed out after the crowd and came across Alex again. We started walking together, and I said something about us winning and being safe now. Then he said something about North Korea still hating us and being the next ones we'd fight, and how they'd just shoot out a nuclear bomb that would destroy the whole planet immediately. It was quite a morbid and scary thing to say, but I just went along with it and said, well, hopefully I'll have at least had sex with Sebastian Stan before then. I meant to refer to Bucky and not the actual actor Sebastian Stan when I said that. We walked into this other area and we ran into my mom, and I said the same thing to her. I don't know why I would ever say something like that to my mom, but I thought it was funny at the time. So, yeah, that was another kind of cute tidbit. In the midst of this cataclysmic war, it's just like, well, I hope I at least get to have sex with Sebastian Stan first. I also don't really have any particular, like, huge crush on him. I guess, like, if I had to pick someone from the Marvel movies, yeah, he's probably the most attractive. But, like, I don't know, in real life I'm kind of indifferent. So, I thought it was cute. I hope that, I don't know, maybe it made you chuckle too. And that is the final excerpt of my dreams that I'll read to you for now. I really liked that bit. I thought it was cute. I don't know what you thought of it. You probably just, I don't know. I hope that you got a kick out of some of my stupid little dreams as well. But that is the last of my dream journals. I hope you enjoyed sitting here with me, listening to some delightful book sounds, and I hope that you have very, very sweet dreams tonight. Also, in the comments, if you have any like really fun dreams that you want to share them with me. I love hearing about people's dreams. And I feel like a lot of people I know don't ever remember theirs. So if you've got a fun one, let me know. And I will see you later. Good night.